Alright, so I just found out that you can click X on him and I'll talk about it.
Yeah, not exactly about a ghost. Probably spectral habit. Okay.
What was that?
No, massacre!
Yeah. The Possum
Massacre.
Alright, you read this.
Severe violence broke out at the Stafford mine strike today. The bosses arrived to attempt to renew talks and were taunted by some of the children present. Rocks were thrown and the National Guard and strikebreakers opened fire on the crowd. After a few minutes, the smoke cleared and the gory scene revealed. 9 miners are dead with a dozen more injured.
Oh, fuck.
A young brother and sister were also shot dead as they were delivering a package of food to their father and uncle who was on strike below when the shooting broke out. The photograph of the 2 children, aged 7 and 9, who were shot in cold blood has circulated far outside our little county. The heinous act led to a personal visit from the governor to the strike site to meet with strikers. Independent inspectors were also brought in and talks finally began 45 days since the start of the strike. The bosses have agreed to comply to the current safety standards and to honor the demands of the miners. No ghosts here to be found here.
The way you say ghost, it sounds like you don't believe me. The kind of way you'd say ghost if there were quotation marks around it.
How do you do that? Ghosts.
Alright. New old store in town center. The old Pickaxe hardware store is set to have its grand opening this Saturday. We received a sneak peek at the store yesterday, and our town will benefit greatly from this new addition. Roy Berg is bringing 25 years of building experience to his new venture and has stocked the shelves with the nuts, bolts, and nails you'll need for any project, plus the latest in tools. Stop by to see the latest trends and everything from the handsaws to hammers. Best of luck to Mr. Berg.
This one?
No ghost.
It's definitely this...
Yeah, okay. You want to just go to the...
Yeah, all events.
Alright.
2 local sweethearts were startled this past Sunday night as they hiked along the wooded overlook known as Possum County. According to the Lovebirds, at approximately 11:45 p.m., a figure appeared to walk from the edge of the cliff off into the open air and then disappeared. Forestry workers the next morning were unable to locate any evidence of anyone having left from the Great Height, leaving the exact nature of what the 2 saw a mystery. A decent hike up into the State Forest Hills, Possum Jump is famous for its beautiful view of the Echo Reservoir. It also holds historical importance as it hosts the lonely graves of several persons involved in the Possum Massacre.
Alright, any other good ones? Yeah, let's read some opinions, actually. We would like to remind the men of our town to please refrain from spitting on the sidewalk. This unsanitary habit is unseemly and beneath you.
Parents, please be sure your daughters are not participating in the new trend of skirts showing the ankles. I do not think we need to remind you which road to brimstone this temporary fantasy trend will lead your dear daughters down.
I've been witnessing more and more teenage girls coming into our town on a Saturday night unchaperoned, using vulgar slang terms, certainly unfit for me to print here, and blocking the sidewalks by walking arm in arm. They are also loud and flirt with boys unabashedly while smoking cigarettes. These young ladies need to be stopped before our young ladies get any ideas or our boys fall in with the wrong girl.
Young men have been seen around Possum Springs engaging in the ridiculous behavior of wearing mismatched patterns in their suits. This style outfit may be able to break in Bright Harbor, but good luck getting any respectable businessmen around here to employ you. Y'all look like rabbit clowns.
Councilman Pushkaya's plan for 3rd Street is a joke. What else is there to say? Ghostly rumors haunt the new historical society. Alright, well here's another one.
The Possum Springs Historical Society's conversion of the Segrist House into a new headquarters and education center has to snag. Custodial head Jed Nusumi has resigned, citing strange occurrences in the old manor. I'd be there after hours doing my work, and I'd hear someone walking around, trying doorknobs. I came out to see who was fooling, but there was nobody there, said Newsom. Trying to get this map room operation for the children all the while. I'm looking over my show expecting to see GD, who knows what. Mr. Newsom had previously requested to work only daylight hours when other staff were present in the building, but even that proved to be too terrifying. I don't go to the off limits anymore. I don't go up at the second floor. They don't want to go to the office. I know the others laughed, saying I'm seeing Little Joe or something. Well, they can all go spit. Little Joe, for the uninitiated, was a local ghost story popular some years ago. The Possum Springs Historical Society has refused to comment on Mr. Norsum's claims at this time.
Alright, any other good ones? More that's a sad one. Strange but true, a tale of teeth. Oh, jeez. Alright, let's do it. How far? Oh god, we're 5 minutes into the episode already. Alright. Strange but True is our ongoing series about the weird and forgotten aspects of Deep Hollow County history and culture, published weekly. Bad bosses. Bad bosses figure heavily into Possum Springs history, and this morbid tale of crime and secret societies is no exception. The story goes, in 1870, a local mine boss was skimming workers on their pay. A group of miners confronted him while he was in the act. He denied everything, while many a slur, and punched the miners' leader, Darrell Glenn, in the face, causing him to lose his last remaining tooth. The miners knew how much Darney's tooth meant to him, and they descended on the boss. A few held the boss down, while the others removed all of his teeth with pliers. The teeth were passed out amongst the miners, and the secret society was created with a vow to protect the workers' interest. Membership was based on owning one of these teeth, and each was marked with a symbol of their choosing. These symbols were used around the coal patch to organize meetings and make announcements. The boss survived his attack, but never named the attackers for fear of implicating himself. When died a few years later, members dug up his grave to retrieve his skull. It was used in ceremonies performed before going out for retribution. All would gather round, place their teeth into the socket, and later retrieve their tooth from after the retribution was completed. Upon a member's death, their tooth would be passed to a new member. Teeth of members in jail would be left in their sockets until the fates were decided. After the strike of 1889, the society dwindled. Occasionally, the descendant of one of the men will find a tooth with strange markings in their home. Strange, but true!
That's fucked up.
That's pretty fucked up. Strike, local ghost. Do you want to just read all these for this episode?
I guess. Let's start on the top left.
Alright, cool.
It'll be easier that way. Piracy. Dear citizens, please make note to keep your pies safe during the pleasant weather we're experiencing.
People are downloading pies at an alarming rate.
Several ladies have reported pies from their kitchen disappeared at an alarming rate. Even worse, the picky culprit is left behind only the rhubarb pies. Until this criminal is caught or the bad weather returns, we remind our housewives to make use of their pie saves indoors or stick the rhubarb.
Rhubarb.
Sorry.
The Stanley T. Possum statue, known by residents as Posse, is finally slated for demolition. Posse closed in 1967, but Richard Coulson, son of Samuel, had hopes of refurbishing the statue for new generations. Posse stood silent for close to 60 years, witnessing the beginning of the demise of the railroad, the mines, and the coke works that ushered in his existence. Teens and other vandals broke into Posse over the years, and climbing up through Posse became a rite of passage for many young people in the area. Residents have been torn over what to do with the beloved but derelict structure over the years. But 3 years ago, pressure began mounting to have it torn down. A storm knocked off Posse's ear, and the next year, Ralph Jenkins fell from the staircase and broke both legs. Samantha Coulson Glick, daughter of Richard, finally agreed that it was time for Posse to go. The demolition will begin at 12 p.m. on Saturday, and viewing areas will be set up for a safe distance.
I'll do a little ghost.
Oh, okay, down here. Local ghost, Little Joe, at it again.
As the school children are quick to inform you, Possum Springs has at least one resident who can't show up on any census survey. Reportedly, the ghost of Gil Shade, a miner who died in mysterious circumstance some decades ago, is a favorite spook story of the whimsical and weird members of our community. His most recent activities seem to involve getting up out of his coffin in the old section of the Possum Springs Cemetery and strolling around, unnerving visitors to the largest graveyard in Deep Hollow County. His grave has become a destination for unruly and often destructive local use, and as such, Possum Springs City Council is considering erecting an iron gate to protect the historical tombstones that fill the small hollow where Gil Shade lies buried. Police have also stepped up patrols in the area, so be warned, thrill seekers. You may not see a ghost, but you may see a fine for trespassing.
Ooh, look, yeah.
Skook, so I can see. Graveyard, that's a gimme.
I mean, if you're looking for ghost stuff, that's where they make a lot of them.
Looks like they saw him in the old section. Oh, cool. That's where his grave is. I'm actually interested in that.
How could you not be interested? This is like an actual dangerous ghost stuff.
I like history.
Ghosts are history. History that won't stay history.
That's actually pretty good.
Alright, what do we got here? Progress Springs in Possum Springs. Randolph Stafford, owner of the Bells Hold Mine Works, has partnered with Samuel Coulson, owner of Coulson Coke Works, Daniel Glick, railroad magnate, and prominent business owner Harrison Schreigeist, to make some stunning improvements throughout the town. The four men desire to build a model of progressive living right here in Possum Springs. The old miners' double houses on Elm Street will be torn down and replaced with spacious single homes. A new elementary school will be opened nearby, along with a new state-of-the-art recreation center courtesy of Arnold Applebaum. This is in addition to the improvements Randolph Stafford promised the previous striking miners.
There has been another sign of the albino groundhog from a very reliable source this time. Edgar Studer reports that he saw the pure white beast digging near Shade Cape. Mr. Stewart has declined to give any more an exact location and implores his fellow hunters to admire his anomaly from afar and leave him to his business. We could not agree more with this upstanding citizen and remain focused that if you're interested in seeing an albino creature, to stop by Suddy's barbershop for a peek at an albino raccoon. We're certain this will assist your mind in completing your search for the groundhog.
Edgar would refer to it as a pure white beast. Underground gases afflict many. The houses on Large Street have been evacuated after the discovery of gas buildup in the basements was found to have led to hallucinations in scattered members of the households. For the past several weeks, residents have been complaining of family members who began hearing voices or seeing things that were not there. One older woman was found having an animated discussion with an empty chair. When pressed, she calmly explained that she was talking to her sister who had passed away some 50 years ago. 2 nights ago, the son of Carson Zimmer ran out of the house and left into Cooper's Pond 1 mile up the road. Moments before this, the child had been readying for bed and, according to another sibling, had become increasingly agitated. The last words he uttered were about some sort of song before he dashed out of the house and into the night where his watery grave awaited him. This last event persuaded residents to request help from the officials to see if this is related to St. Leuven's lantern. A phenomenon where exposure to specific underground gases leads to certain victims to experience walking dreams, auditory hallucinations, and the sense of unseen presences. Preliminary tests indicate the gas is present in the homes, and mining officials are moving the residents until more tests can be completed. No ghost here. Really? Alright.
Samuel Colson has purchased 10 acres of land on the outskirts of Possum Springs. When we inquired as to what Mr. Colson would use the land for, he would only remark that what was coming here would delight both young and old for years to come. We're very anxious to be delighted.
Okay.
We did that one?
We did that one. I already did it too. Strike, already did Strike, right?
Yeah, we did New Old Store.
Okay, The idea first arose at the memorials. Yeah, no.
Okay, let me do it because I actually one.
Okay.
A strike at Stafford Mine has been called. The idea first arose after the memorial of the 1888 explosion victims. Miners gathered in the home of Arthur Borowski to continue the memorial of their friends. They also began recounting all of the promises the bosses had engaged on this past year, including basic safety measures to avoid another explosion. A group of 20 miners entered the mines to begin the strike, and 30 more rejoined them before morning. All work has been stopped at the mine, and the miners are now striking in 8-hour shifts. Their wives and children have begun to bring food and water for the men. The bosses have stated that the mines are safer than they were a year ago, and that there is no need to act in this manner.
New Old Story, we already did the old pickaxe. Tragedy at the Stafford Mine. Let's see, no ghost here. Spectral Happenings, we've done this one, and this one.
Check.
Hey, look at this.
Yeah.
Looks like Possum Jump.
Let me read it.
It's Possum Jump.
Okay, yeah, that's back up in the state park, right?
Yeah.
Ever been up there?
Nope. Gonna check it out, though.
Go nuts. Fucking die for all I care.
The Stanley T. Possum statue has officially opened to the public, and we have to say, we are smitten. For 2 cents, one can enter Stanley and spend quite a lovely time looking the Possum Springs of yesteryear in the museum, enjoying some popped corn and fresh lemonade in the snack parlor, decorated with Tiffany glass electric lights before heading up a full 10 feet to see the sights of our beloved town through the eyes of this grand possum. There's even a beautiful train diorama that will delight both young and old. We predict Stanley T. Possum will be the sight that all passing through our town will desire to behold, and that will be sure to draw many crowds. The
strike is now in its 30th day and no end in sight. The bosses have refused to meet with the miners, saying their demands are too fantastical. The miners claim they were only asking the bosses to adhere to safety standards that are already the law. The National Guard was called in after last week's scuffle, and the Colson Coke Works Union has joined the cause, which has caused an uptick, yeah, I can see it. Uptick in national press arriving on site. The women's camp has expanded services from serving meals to being any non-union miner from entering the mines. So far, they have been successful in both ventures.
Ghostly rumors haunt the New Historical Society. Have we read this one? Oh, yeah. Mr. Nusumi.
Alright.
Okay.
Historical Society?
Oh, sorry. History that won't stay history. In a history place.
History place?
Yeah, I've never been.
You didn't go back in school?
I think this was when I wasn't in school.
Oh, after the softball incident?
Yeah, I mostly just watched TV and did therapy.
Well, it's actually a pretty cool old house. Used to be owned by one of the mine owners or something. Railroad, mine, steel mill, something like that.
An actual haunted house.
No. Elementary school kids are there all the time. They have, like, summer arts and crafts programs.
Oh, well, still worth checking out. Okay, well, that's like 3 leads. Let's boogie.
Let's boogie. Also, is that it?
You know what? Yep, we're nearing the end of the episode, so we're gonna call it right there. Well, everyone, we hope you enjoyed newspaper clip reading gamers. I'll say the Ramblin' sure was at a 10 out of 10 this episode.
I gotta just ask this. What did they search for to get just these articles?
These are just the ones that they have up there for people to look at.
I say they're really forward thing. Like, yeah, you know, if anyone actually is going to look at old stuff like this, they're going to look for ghost shit.
They're gonna want to find some haunted bullshit happening, right?
Probably. And you know what? They were right.
Alright, everyone, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed it, we appreciate all the likes, the comments, and the subscribes, and we'll see you next time where we approach these new leads that we have into the Possum Springs ghostly murder cases. Yeah, bye.
Bye.